We're going to have we have special guests lined up. It was supposed to already have happened, but COVID really delayed that, and so we have to push it back until next year. But I mean, this thing is going to be amazing. We have just some of the best and brightest girls in Baltimore.
And Matt, it's not only that, it's not only Baltimore. You're looking at branching
Mhm.
out this program,
Sure, sure,
taking
sure,
it outside of the East Coast,
sure.
across the United States, and you're even doing some work in other countries, right?
So you are just letting it all out of the
Is
bag.
that okay? Can I do that or not?
No, 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 no. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. It's already in the works. So okay. So we are hitting Baltimore, right? Hometown Baltimore. DC is next. We're hitting Boca Raton, Florida. We're hitting Houston, Texas, Denver, Colorado. We want to come up and see you up in Milwaukee. Uh, Turks and Caicos. Big shout out to all my TCI folks listening to this podcast right now. You know, we see you. You are heard. We have a special celebrity basketball camp that we run there every year. It's amazing. Look, this is the shirt. How about that? Do the impossible, right? That's the name of the camp. We want kids to understand that they can do the impossible. We started it actually after two Category 5 hurricanes hit the Caribbean. Lord have mercy. Two Category 5 hurricanes. And it's not like when they hit here, because they devastate here. But when you have a Cat 5, you're talking 200-mile-per-hour sustained winds. You're talking no land to slow it down, right? So it's catastrophic. So we wanted to kind of hit that head on. We went down there. I called some of my NBA buddies, some of my professional athlete basketball players. Let's go down there. Let's make a difference. Let's tell these young men and women. I don't care what happened. You can pull through. You can push through. And the guys that you see on TV are telling you if that's what you need, the type of the message we push from the TCI in the Caribbean all the way throughout the United States. We're looking to expand. We have great sponsors who love the idea, and they're looking and saying, hey, we cannot wait, come to our city. And so if you're out there and you want us to come to your city, we will come, we will make it happen. Not only will we do it, we will knock it out of the park with you. So yeah, we're looking forward to new partners and new experiences coming along.
I so much respect what you're doing. And again, shout out to the sponsors of Lawrence
Yes.
International for making that possible. Um, it takes a village, right? And you've seen it. This isn't something that you can do by yourself. You're not a one-man superstar running this Lawrence International show.
Lordy, no.
If people want to reach out to you and say, I want to help you with what you're doing, how can they get a hold of you and what are your greatest needs?
Sure. So lawrenceintl.org is our website. lawrenceintl.org. That's our website. Go there, especially no matter if you want to volunteer. So we will be laying out volunteer platforms at each one of these cities to need volunteers. If you are interested in pouring into the youth in these cities, let us know. If you're interested in sponsoring, there is a sponsorship volunteer tab. Click the tab, fill out the questionnaire, the survey, and somebody will get back to you as soon as possible. That's the greatest need. The greatest need is you. You're the greatest need. Sponsorship and volunteers. Um, Dollars make every nonprofit go. And especially as we start to unveil and help communities around the country and around. So when you go to lawrenceintl.org, hit the donate button. Feel free to give whatever you feel that's on your heart, because you will see once you go scroll through our website, our Twitter, our Instagram, our Facebook pages, you will see the work that we're doing. It's going right to the neighborhoods. It's going right to these school districts that need it. We're giving what the kids need. We're giving the parents what they need. We're equipping them to go take their lives to the next level. Not only are we making them feel good, but like with the leadership development summits, we're pairing them off with internship jobs from our sponsors as well. So it matters so good. And I leave and I'm back to my quote unquote reality. No, no, man. It is exactly what you need. It is that job that those kids need. It is that future, that trajectory that we all want our kids, that I want for my daughter. That same trajectory I want for my daughters. you will have for your sons and daughters. And that's how we do things.
And Matt, living in Milwaukee, being a single parent with 8 children,
Mhm.
I'm the first one to say I'm one of your biggest fans because I know how much what you're doing is needed, right? It's needed in my community. I teach in a Milwaukee school choice school. My students need this. My kids, for pity's sake, need this, right? So I also want to say this. When you talk about sponsorship and sports philanthropy, I want to say thank you. You've agreed to come on as a panelist at the Sports Philanthropy Conference, October 26th and 27th. You're coming on talking about what you're passionate about. And I want to give you a chance to promote that, but I also want to come alongside of you. I'm blessed that I get a discount code. So, for any of the people who want to hear you or support you, I want them to know that they can reach out to you, they can reach out to me. I'm definitely going to use my discount code to help your supporters be able to attend that conference at a discounted price so that we can all work together and make a difference. Matt, if you don't mind, speak just a little bit about what panel you're on at the Sports Philanthropy Network conference, just because I want to give you that chance to really involve our listeners in that.
Sure. Yeah. So that is a huge platform for you to be able to really get educated about what your dreams are, what your passions are, and how you can get involved. Right, the Sports Philanthropy Network is having a huge conference, and the panels that I'm going to speak on, we have social justice, and we have just really social justice is near and dear to my heart. Just combating things such as racism, prejudice, just police brutality, everything under the sun that is really kind of now the highlight of everybody's talking point. It's kind of always been the highlight of everybody's talking point in underserved communities. Obviously from the social justice side, we're happy to get so much momentum. Um, but we have to kind of stay focused, and I'll just be talking about different ways that we can stay focused and different ways not be kind of penalized a lot of times for being poor. We want to give everybody, just equal chance to be able to be great. You shouldn't be penalized for the color of your skin, right? That shouldn't be a thing. Everybody agrees, but not everybody agrees on how the different methods are should go about. And I'm going to be pushing on the different methods that I think are obvious, but someone else might not agree only because they might not have been exposed to that. And so when I can tell you from not just my personal experience, but the and have obviously data to back it up and studies to back it up. So one can see, like, for instance, someone who has been to jail, and you can say, well, blacks have a jail time 6 times longer than whites when they have the same criminal history and they have they commit the same crime. So something obvious like that should not exist, right? It's blatant, it shouldn't exist. And so we want to combat that. And so other examples just like that we want to talk about and we want to help you understand so you can go spread it in your communities to be on. It
It,
just deals with I'm sorry.
no, I was going to say, I think what you're saying is so important. And,
Sure.
Milwaukee is one of the most heightened, Kenosha and the police brutality thing that happened,
Sure.
just a few weeks ago. We're experiencing this. We need help. And not only do you carry the credibility, not only do you carry
Sure.
the experience, not only do you carry your title and your status, but more than that, Matt, I think what I respect most is you carry a faith based perspective. It's not just Matt Lawrence's opinions. In conversations that you and I have had outside of this podcast, you bring the temperance of a holy standard of really, truly taking God's point of view into racism. And
Sure. I
that
mean, if I
makes
could
you an expert.
oh I mean, Christ rules all things. We need to follow him. It's it's my foundation, right? He has been there for me. He has been there for so many. His principles. they're there. They've been there, and they stand true and they hold true. And so when I bring Christ into everything that I do, police brutality, speaking about police brutality specifically, one thing. So nowadays, what you have to say now is, because once you say, we want to talk about police brutality, a lot of folks think you're anti-police. I 100% stand by police. I am 100% for police officers. I'm 100% for police. I'm anti-crime. There's a huge difference. And when you start talking about it like that, now we can start talking about getting to root causes. Because what we don't want is for people to be defensive. You don't even get anywhere. I call myself the bridge, right? You bring Christ in it. You have the mindset of Christ. You have the mindset of his mission. You don't want to offend anybody, but truth is truth. And if you have something that's there, you need to talk on it from both sides, because I'm not a police officer. So I may not have the influence on police officers as a literal police officer. So if you see something, say something, that type of thing. And the more we get truth and God's truth into every profession and not just police officers, those systematic injustice, racial injustice isn't just a police thing. That's just one thing that we're seeing, that we're hearing about, but it's something we've always been fighting against. It's jobs, right? It's everywhere. And we really want to talk about it. And things should be talked about, and Christ should be talked about. And I have no hangups talking about either one.
I love that. Thank you. And, one other thing that I want to talk about, if you don't mind, and this was on our last podcast,
Sure.
and it really is about loving people and using your influence for good, strengthening lives, making it, oh my gosh, great coffee cup. Great coffee cup. But for anybody who's listening to the podcast and not seeing the video, Matt, you want to just take a quick moment and let everybody know what you're drinking out of?
I
Mr.
am
Healthy
drinking.
Guru.
How about this? Hey, you might get a sponsorship. Hey, listen, we are drinking out of this fabulous Reese's peanut butter cup. So shout out to Hershey up there, Hershey, Pennsylvania. And we might be coming to the Milton Hershey School to motivate and do some things with you guys up there. So hey, cheers to you and cheers to Reese's and the Hershey Chocolate Company.
You know what? Honestly, my favorite candy, I'll be honest, and anybody who knows me knows that's my thing. So you made my day. You
Reese's,
just made
you
me
can you
laugh so
can
hard.
never go wrong with Reese's. I tell you that much right now.
That's right. And all those kids should get some Reese's too, right?
Very true.
Anyway, Matt, speaking of kids and speaking of using our influence for good,
Mhm.
I think you know what I'm going to ask, and it relates to Special Olympics. I'm so honored and proud that the Legacy After the Locker Room podcast partners with Special Olympics to give back to the community. Mr. Reverend Lawrence, would you partner with me to make a difference in the lives of the young athletes that are participating in Special Olympics with an autograph donation?
Listen, absolutely. I'll give more than one autograph donation. I'll give a few. It's
Thank
listen, I would love to partner with you. It's something we need to build folks up. I can't say it enough. I'm sure people who are listening are like, if he says pour into or build up one more time, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, ugh, but I can't stress it enough. It's not a talking point for me. So it's real life for me. In Special Olympics, yes, they will get so much autograph stuff. It'll hopefully it'll be life changing. That's the goal, right?
Thank you. And I like the way that Special Olympics just fits right in with those four pillars of yours. And if you don't
Yes.
mind, Matt, touch on those one more time. I want to make sure everybody knows exactly what Lawrence International
Lawrence
is doing.
International, we focus on leader. What's that now?
No, I just
Oh,
was
uh,
asking you to touch on those four pillars.
yes. Here at Lawrence International, we focus on leadership development, educational enhancement, mental and emotional health, and athletic advancement. That's what we focus on here at Lawrence International.
I love it. Again, Kayla Bradham, host of Legacy After the Locker Room podcast, powered by Stables Media. I want to take a quick moment to shout out the Michigan Sports Truth podcast, shouting out the Midwest today with Taylor Phillips and Edward Lawrence Smith. Their podcast on October 14th, all about the Detroit Red Wings. back to Matt Lawrence, Lawrence International. Matt's a veteran of